The 2020 Focus Cup Championship is about to burst into life after a delayed start to the season, and the drivers are raring to go. And what better place to start off the new year than the fabulous Oulton Park circuit in the northwest of England. A real driver's favourite, but I'd imagine quite a tricky place to get used to in these very, very closely matched front-wheel drive Ford Focuses. The racing should be close and the grid looks packed with talent this year. Looking forward to the opening race.
Andy Godfrey bagged pole position from Simon White, Gary Mitchell and PJ Gardner, and it was Gardner who came through in the 52 car from the second row to challenge Godfrey for the lead in the early stages. Godfrey's getaway was clean and he led Gardner down into Cascades for the first time, with Simon Watts running in third. Watts coming under early pressure from Simon Waugh, who qualified in fifth place. Those two continued their battle for the third and final podium position, and it was Waugh that eventually got in front. And behind them, a good battle between some established drivers and several very quick and impressive looking newcomers. Fourth position in this opening race was to be attained by Chris Wallace. Chris coming through from 10th on the grid in an impressive drive, but out front, Andy Godfrey pulled away by almost 5 seconds to take the win and fastest lap, ahead of PJ Gardner, with Simon Waugh in third and Chris Wallace fourth from Simon Tomlinson. His confirmation of the result: Simon Watts in sixth, Tim Bill in seventh, ahead of Gary Mitchell, Francois Fabry ninth, the top 10 completed by Jerry Brown.
So first win of the year goes to Andrew Godfrey. Always the way you want to start the season off, isn't it, with a race victory?
Absolutely. I mean, I've had such good support from my friends and family that's come up to see me. I'd like to dedicate this particular race to my wife, who got diagnosed with cancer just at the start of the lockdown, and she's been amazing. She's on full recovery, and she let me come and have a race as my reward, so there's a reward back.
Well, what a reward it was as well, and with a competitive grid this year as well, this must mean quite a lot.
Yeah, it seems really tight. I just really wanted to get away and not get too bogged down and have to fight, but I think the second race I'll have to be fighting for it. I won't have it all my own way the second race.
Well, second place in our opening race of the day is PJ Gardner. Not bad for your first ever race, eh?
I'm absolutely over the moon. First time at Oulton Park, second time in these cars. Yeah, over the moon. I had someone quick to follow, which was nice, and yeah, we took second, so I'm really happy with that.
Race two then, sounds like you got a bit more work to do with that reverse grid, and with someone with such limited experience, how do you reckon your racecraft's going to stand up in that one?
Well, in the first race I got a good start, so and coming from karting, I'm used to a rolling start, so that was my first ever race start from standing on the grid, so I'm fairly confident on how to launch the car off the grid. So hopefully I can make a few places up there. I just hope the weather holds off, because I don't know the wet line around this track, and I'll be learning all over again. So
Simon Waugh, congratulations, third step of the podium here in the first race at Oulton Park, and it sounded like particularly the first half of that race was quite lively.
It was, yeah. It was a really sort of bunched up start. I had to get past the chap in 23 next to me, so I managed to throw one up the inside on Lodge on I think the second lap, and then trying to chase the front two. There was a bit more action behind me, so they were close. Once I put a gap to them, I was trying to chase the front two down, but they were a bit far away by then. But hey, third.
Partially reversed grid, the top 6 from race 1 being reversed. So 6th place was Simon Watts, he's on pole. Simon Tomlinson alongside row 2. Chris Wallace and Simon Waugh. PJ Gardner and race 1 winner Andy Godfrey on row 3. Row 4, Tim Bill with Gary Mitchell. Francois Fabry and Jerry Brown on row 5. Row 6, Graham Waterhouse and Spencer Fortag. Simon Walton was in race number 1, but sadly non-finished, and he's not on the grid, so we hope to see him in action later on in the season. The lights are on. Simon Watts on pole position. Simon Tomlinson alongside. Watts makes a good start. Pretty impressive start as well from third on the grid. Chris Wallace is having a look on the inside line of Tomlinson. Also coming through Simon Moore in the 22. Just cuts across in front of PJ Gardner in the red, white and blue car there. Gardner, an impressive second position in race number 1. And as they head down to Cascades, we've in fact got a new leader. It's Chris Wallace who goes through on the inside line and emerges in lead position as they go down into Cascades for the first time. PJ Gardner looks around the outside line of Simon Moore. Nothing quite doing there, but he might get some momentum along Lakeside. The white car, Simon Tomlinson coming under a little bit of pressure from Andy Godfrey. A great start by Chris Wallace from third on the grid, and he leads them up to the Shell Oils hairpin for the first time. Great clean start by everybody, and no casualties, which is always a good thing to say at Oulton Park, running on the international circuit today, 2.69 miles. So it's Wallace leading and establishing a little bit of a lead at the moment over Simon Watts. There is Spencer Fortag, 79 car. The black with the flames has come through from the back of the grid, and he's ahead of Simon Tomlinson and Gary Mitchell in the black, orange and white car, the 44 machine. Then it is the blue and white car, the light blue and white car of Jerry Brown, who is there as well. We're going to see a change for second. Yes, we are. Simon Ward goes through on the inside line and passes Simon Watts for second place. PJ Gardner remains in fourth. Fifth position is race 1 winner Andy Godfrey. And Godfrey coming under pressure from Spencer Fortag, who's having a good look, but now Spencer coming under pressure from Simon Tomlinson once again. But a good start from the Sussex man, 51 years of age, from East Sussex, Chris Wallace, who's going to have a good lead at the end of lap number 1. No mean feat, third on the grid, so a good start, a good challenging opening couple of corners and getting up into lead position, and this could pay dividends for him in this 15-minute race. So he goes through. Simon Watt in second place, still in third place Simon Watts. I love the partially reverse grid racing because it does give folk a little bit of a chance to build on confidence going through race number 1. Andy Godfrey having a look here side by side with PJ Gardner as they come across the line. He's got the inside line in the red, white and black car and could well get the position here over Gardner and move up on the inside line. Spencer Fortag trying to come through as well in the 79, but PJ Gardner gets across. Gardner also, whilst defending that place, is challenging Simon Watts. But it's Chris Wallace, the race leader at the moment, who is away with Simon Waugh next up. And then, now we've seen that the fastest lap was unsurprisingly perhaps the man who took the meeting pole position, Andy Godfrey. It did change as the cars went across the line. Simon Watts up ahead of Spencer Fortag, Tomlinson and Mitchell, with Jerry Brown next up. So things settling down quite nicely in this one. Spencer getting a much better line out of Shell Oils, and Simon Watts getting a little bit defensive, the man from Preston. Simon Tomlinson following in the HRX yellow livery. Some great liveries in this championship, and a fine championship to move into. Either there's a little bit of trading, I think, with Mini Challenge, a couple of ex-Mini drivers in here, which we'll talk about as the race goes on, and also a super formula to come into from track day racing. That's something that Tim Bill did. Tim in the number 6 car, man from Rochester. So Simon Tomlinson all over the back at the moment of Simon Watts. They were 5th and 6th respectively in race number 1. Spencer Fortag in the mix as well. Good 4-car dice going on there. Meanwhile, the lead is being whittled away at the moment, and it is still Simon Waugh in second position, but coming under pressure from the 46 car of Andy Godfrey as we pick up with Graham Waterhouse, the man from Stockport, 11th place in race number 1 in the K&N Filters car. Home track, I think, therefore, for Graham Waterhouse, one of several new drivers to motor racing in the championship, which is good to see as the Sussex man goes across the line with the lead diminished as to what it was on the opening lap, and he's going to have a new challenger soon, because through in the inside line, second position now, Andy Godfrey, another former Mini Challenge driver, wishes his wife well with the health challenges, wish the family well. And good to see him out racing. So Godfrey into second place, and now closing down, seriously closing down on Chris Wallace, who was 4th in race number 1. So we're going to have a battle for the lead on our hands very shortly. back with Graham Waterhouse, who is putting in some good laps and improving his times all the way through the weekend, which is what any driver wants to do. So new leader Andy Godfrey from 6 on the grid has gone through into lead position. Chris Wallace still in second, third place the 22 of Simon Waugh, and then PJ Gardner. So we've got 4 drivers really disputing the podium positions at the moment. I guess after qualifying in race 1 you would really be foolhardy to bet against Andy Godfrey, but you don't know what's going to happen here. But it's Godfrey leading. Good stuff from Chris Wallace thus far, and Simon Waugh, the former SsangYong pickup driver, also competed in an Alpha 147 in the Champion Sprint Series and had a podium here at Oulton Park last year in this championship. So maybe has a little bit more of experience of these cars on this track than some of the other drivers. Simon was 8th in the championship last year. Simon Watts was 7th, the driver of the 22 car. So we've got some drivers with experience. I mentioned about the crossover with the Mini Challenge as well. Harry Nunn, who was 3rd in Focus Cup last year, is racing in the Cooper Pros this year, or the Cooper class of the Quaife Mini Challenge. So we wish him well on his onward racing endeavours. We'll be keeping an eye on him, and he was 3rd in the championship last year behind Russell Cager and Andy Wilmot, who won the championship last year. So big pressure on at the moment. Simon Waugh trying to get up into 2nd position, runs a little bit wide there, so too does PJ Gardner. So Waugh is going to have to look to see what he can do in other parts of the circuit whilst they battle. Andy Godfrey, the Suffolk-based driver, is starting to get away and build a lead. Championship-wise, the points are not just for the racing, but also full points for positions gained in the initial qualifying session. I say the initial, there is only one qualifying session, but the points are the same for the races as they are, or same for qualifying as they are for the races. Quick look at Graham Waterhouse again, and in Filter's car. Again, improving his lap times. Did a 2:23 in race number 1. He's already in the 2:21s here, and that's what you do as a newcomer, is focus on your own performance and get quicker and quicker. Look at this great 3-way scrap for 2nd position, and Chris Wallace soaking up the pressure at the moment, but Simon Waugh is going to have a go. He's on the outside line. The result of that was that Waugh was now being challenged by PJ Gardner, who looks to the inside, then the outside. Here comes Waugh, down through into 2nd position. Great move. And Wallace is down to 3rd, about to be 4th place because PJ Gardner goes through as well. So, super stuff. And we've got effectively the first 3 drivers from race number 1 have now fought their way through and come into the top 3 of this one. There is Tim Bill, busy chasing Francois Fabry. Mentioned Tim earlier on, ex-track day driver. Done a bit of mini challenge as well, actually. 8th in the open class back in 2017. So good to see him enjoying his race as we watch Simon Waugh still up ahead of PJ Gardner, and then Chris Wallace, where he was in race number 1, in 4th place, and not losing any ground at the moment on PJ Gardner, so maybe able to get his confidence together and close in. Another one of the new drivers. So PJ Gardner, a newcomer to racing. Chris Wallace is too. Francois Fabry is as well. And Graham Waterhouse, who we got to have a look at. There is Simon Watts going through up ahead of Simon Tomlinson. Gary Mitchell is in behind as well. And going back to what I was saying about the championship, the way the points is organised, effectively you don't have 3 races, but with qualifying counting as a points scoring part of the meeting, it does mean that you have to concentrate on it. It was Andy Godfrey that was on pole, got the fastest lap as well, bonus point for fastest lap in the championship as well, 5 bonus points for it. So Godfrey setting out his stall very early indeed. Simon Waugh defending 2nd position now from PJ Gardner, the 30-year-old from Leeds is still there, and I've got to say Chris Wallace is still in the mix as well. The Sussex-based racer, a little bit of a gap back to 5th position, still held by Simon Watts, but the other Simon Tomlinson in the HRX car, putting him under pressure. So Tomlinson having a go, and there's a turnaround up front. I don't know if there was contact. I think there possibly may have been, but that is Simon Waugh facing the wrong way. And 3rd position now, or 2nd position now I should say, is PJ Gardner, with Chris Wallace in 3rd, and the battle we're looking at becomes the scrap for 4th place. So at the moment it's Simon Watts there from Simon Tomlinson, then Gary Mitchell, Spencer Fortag in behind as well. The race leader may or may not be aware of that because they're a fair way behind in his mirrors. You can see the lead that he has got in this 15-minute race. So it's Andy Godfrey who set the fastest lap on this one on lap 2. Hasn't beaten that so far, may well do as he gets into race rhythm. Simon Waugh gets going again, but he's some way back. Now what we couldn't see from our camera position is if it was contact, but to my mind it might have been a tussle between the cars because we did see Simon Waugh's car go around on what was straight part of the circuit. So Simon is down the order and with work to do to try and get back into the swing of things as second and third go through, Gardner and Wallace. Chris Wallace holding on at the moment to PJ Gardner. Simon Watts is in 4th place. Simon Tomlinson now at the start of the race, having said that it looked like a good clean start, there was a little bit of a jink from Simon Tomlinson, the front row starter, and he, for his sins, has got a 10-second penalty. So that's going to push him down the order, but this won't spoil the race between himself and Simon Watts for 4th position, but it will spoil the result on paper for him at the end. And on the timing screen, it's actually showing Simon Tomlinson showing down in 9th place. But racing hard, I think may have just anticipated the start a little bit too soon. Gary Mitchell busy chasing Simon Watts therefore now. Then it's Spencer Fortag. So a good 4-car scrap going on here. Down behind them, Jeremy Brown still in the hunt for some decent points here as well. Here's a good view of the lead that Andy Godfrey's got at the moment. Still PJ Gardner in 2nd place, being harried by Chris Wallace. And here they come. Gary Mitchell has a speculative look towards the inside line. I didn't think he was close enough, but as they come into the chicane, you can see that actually he's not that far behind Simon Watts at the moment. And Spencer Fortag in the mix as well. You can see Francois Fabry busy trying to close in the 2nd of the black cars. 2 Graham Waterhouse running in 12th place at the moment and still chipping away at his own lap times. You can see the yellow square with the black cross on the back of the car indicating that he is a new race driver. This is a super option for people to come in. That looks like a problem for Jerry Brown, sadly. The Cartec machine is pulling up, so the 67-year-old from Nottingham calling it a day late on in the race, which is a big pity after 10th position in race number 1. So across the line has already got Andrew Godfrey onto his last lap. PJ Gardner being followed by Chris Wallace. Are we going to see a maiden podium here for Chris Wallace? He's going to be thrilled with that. I suspect not at the expense of Simon Waugh after that incident earlier on. You can see, I think, track limits warnings going out for various drivers, but PJ Gardner in P2 at the moment from Chris Wallace. There is the car that we saw have that moment at Hilltop, Simon Waugh, who continues on at the moment in 10th place. PJ Gardner looking relatively safe at the moment in 2nd, but this is a fine drive by Chris Wallace as well. He did a good start from 3rd on the grid to get into the lead early doors. Built a good lead, but sadly that disappeared, but he's still on the podium here, so it could be a good day's work here for Chris Wallace. He'll be looking forward to the 2nd event of the season, which is at Silverstone. Then we've got doubleheader at Brands Hatch, Donington Park on the 7th of November, our final race of the year. Cars available for hire, and of course I'd normally say you'd be very welcome as a spectator. Hopefully we'll be able to have COVID restrictions lifted and see some spectators at Donington on the 7th of November. But there is Simon Waugh. Andy Godfrey still with the fastest lap. Back to the 2 cars battling it out. Well, no, they're not battling out for 2nd place. PJ Gardner in the ABS car is, I think, on his way to another podium, and it's going to be a maiden podium for Chris Wallace in 3rd place as the race leader Andy Godfrey goes through. Tim Bill busy chasing Francois Fabry for 7th and 8th with the time penalty applied to Simon Tomlinson's car. Chris Wallace still working hard in 3rd place, but a very good lead here, and that lead is over 6 seconds now. Andy Godfrey ahead of PJ Gardner. Chris Wallace, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, I think, are settled because the race leader is heading across the line now to take the checkered flag. Well done, Andy Godfrey. Pole position. 2 wins, 2 fastest laps, maximum points therefore for him. He will lead the championship. PJ Gardner is second. Third place goes to Chris Wallace, and a good way to get our 2020 campaign underway. Just the one non-finisher in that one, which was Jerry Brown, we saw pull up on the penultimate lap. But I think all of the drivers have enjoyed the opening meeting. You can see the cheers being given on the pit wall as Tim Bill goes across the line, the man from Rochester in Kent. Here's how they finished. Double win for Andy Godfrey. PJ Gardner second from Chris Wallace and Simon Watts. Gary Mitchell fifth. Then Spencer Fortag and Francois Fabry. Tim Bill 8th from Simon Tomlinson, and Simon Waugh completing the top 10 ahead of Graham Waterhouse.
Well, it's a double race victory in the Focus Cup here at Oulton Park for Andrew Godfrey. That one, though, we predicted would be a bit tougher with the reversed grid. It looked like it was.
It was a tough race, but so the boys have been good as gold all weekend, and we had a little bit of a touch here and there, but I don't think there was anything too much to worry about. But showed good pace once it got to the front. Brilliant weekend. Focus Cup, really good series. Recommend it. I think it's the one thing that really attracted to me is there's no way you can cheat. The car is what it is. Everyone's the same. So it's just down to you on the day once you're behind the wheel.
Well, PJ, another podium, this time from 5th place on the grid though. We were talking about the racecraft you might have to deploy in that one. There was plenty of racing, wasn't there?
Yeah, compared to the first race this morning, it was exciting to say the least, and nice to have a battle with the lads. A little bit of contact on the round the back, but yeah, it was good racing, really good racing. Come back for Brands for the double header there, and do Donington as well in November. So I'm missing one, but I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, Chris Wallace, you've had a bit of an up and down day, haven't you? Qualifying didn't quite go to plan, but you've salvaged 2 good results.
Yeah, been really pleased with it, and a 4th and a 3rd puts us in a decent place in the points. Just heard that PJ is obviously not at the next round, which is good news for me. You know, really looking forward to the next round. Happy with how we've gone. Haven't been racing for 25 years. First race back, and yeah, that's a good result for us today. Good result.
Chris Wallace, a happy man, scoring his maiden podium in the Focus Cup Championship 2020 here at Oulton Park. If you've enjoyed the racing, then please come along and support us on track, or join us next time for more coverage. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.